Good morning. My name is Joe Bandel, and I am the last Rosicrucian. Today we're going to talk about the oak symbol that you see that I'm on the video and what it means to me. And we're going to talk about something called the Astral Police, which is an interesting topic that I first learned about when I was reading um, some books by Dion Fortune. So first, I'm just going to mention, but from memory, I'm going to kind of say that Dion Fortune said there's an organization, if you will, or a group of people that are called the Astral Police. And they really are the ultimate, uh, what they say goes in the astral planes. You don't mess with them, basically. And nobody really knows much about them. She knew about them, she ran into them, or whatever. So it was kind of interesting because at certain periods of time, since I crossed the Great Abyss back in 1991, there were times when I actually had a badge, like I'm in the astral and then somebody challenges me or whatever, and I pull out my wallet and there's a like on a cop show and there's a badge in my wallet and they go, whoa, wait, okay. A lot of times they just start running. And then there's been times over the same period of years where I've been like the outlaw or where I've been struggling against what's called, you could say, the astral police. And the conclusion I came to is that each specific astral body has its own domain, it has its own class or its own empire or its own area. And whenever I would develop my astral body to the point where it was permanently activated, I would actually be given a badge, so to speak, from the wallet or whatever that I. And other times when I was had not developed that astral body permanently, I was kind of more like the person who could get into astral battles. I was constantly getting into astral conflicts, one way or another. But it was like, okay, there's one group of people you can't mess with. That's the astral police. So it seemed like I would be trying to develop my soul, develop the power of my soul, develop an astral body at one chakra center. And there'd be a lot of fights. And then when I finally achieved the permanent activation of that astral body, I would become like, for that area of the astral, a member of the astral police. And nobody'd mess with me anymore. In fact, they'd maybe run the other way. That is the conclusion that I've came to after, if you think about 7 possible astral bodies, that's inclusive of the etheric body. And I bring that up because in the just last a few weeks ago at the summer solstice, this would be a few days before, I think it was in during the week before the summer solstice. I had this dream, and I remembered it, but I didn't think a lot about it. A little, but I remembered a little bit. And in this dream, I was presented with this badge, and it was a heavy badge. It was like one of those metal badges that you would pin on your uniform, something like that. And it was not a star, it was more like a shield, if you will. Because some badges are stars, like the sheriff's star or whatever, and others are shields. Well, this was kind of a shield, but the thing that made it significant was the presentation of it and that it was heavy. It had weight, and it had a metallic feel in the dream. Now, in dreams, it's really rare to actually hold something that you can say has weight to it. When I was in other dreams over the years, when I'd be flashing that wallet with the badge or whatever, there was no weight to that. Well, this had kind of a weight. And I was thinking, well, okay, the summer solstice, that is when there's enthronement for those that have done a good job. It's kind of like, hey, what happens at the summer solstice? Are we achieving our state or getting our status or whatever, the recognition, something like that? And then I actually forgot about it until last night. I had another dream, and this dream was about I was with somebody, and that person was kind of like a law enforcement in the astral. So it'd be kind of like an astral cop, so to speak. And for some reason, I said, "You better know about this," and I handed them my badge so they could look at it. I wasn't wearing it. I had it in my pocket, and I just kind of handed it over so they could look at it. And they were not very happy about it. That was pretty much the end of the dream. But the implications are very serious, or very, very potent, if you will, because it got me to thinking, and I remembered back to this few days before the summer solstice, that same badge, and I remembered the symbol, the oak symbol that I had been given many years ago, and I'll get to that later, but I'm going to finish this about the dream first. Because when I handed that person the badge and I said, "You better know about this," and they didn't really say much, but you could tell they weren't too happy about it. It had weight. It was heavy. It had a hard metal feel to it. It's very physical. And basically, the understanding that I have of it is that that person and I could have gotten into a conflict. We could have gotten into a astral conflict, except showed them the badge, and it's like, you don't mess with me. And they might not so it's kind of the impression I have. They were not too happy about maybe what I'm doing in the astral planes or whatever, but I showed them, hey, I'm one of these astral police, astral cops. So I guess that's part of what I do, what I am in that way. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the symbol that you see on the video and on every page. Not page, but as it goes along. Back in 1991, after I crossed the Great Abyss, I had this vision, and it was a vision of timeline. And it was coming from the future, and it was coming down through all the layers of the astral planes down into the etheric planes. And it was divided into segments, and the highest segment had that symbol. It's a symbol of an order. It's a symbol of a group. It's a symbol of a soul group, whatever you want to call it. And then the next section down lower a little bit was a symbol that I recognized as the Galactic Federation. Take it for what it's worth. I'm just repeating what this vision that I had. And the next section directly below that was the human part of the timeline. And below that was animals, and the animals were piling on to that timeline and adding, like building to it, putting their input into it, so that this timeline had, even the animals were contributing to that timeline. And as far as I'm concerned, that timeline, I have watched it descend from the highest level downward over the last 30 years, 20, or whatever it is since 91, downward, unchanged, virtually unchanged. And that's the timeline that this order, if you will, the soul group, symbolized by that logo, represented. And I had a strong message that I was authorized to use that logo, that was part of my soul group, and I could use it. And when I take that vision, and that vision of that symbol was so strong that I copied it and I drew it to the best that I could, to my memory of it. And that's what you see there. So when I take those two incidents, I take that symbol and I take the badge, and that badge and that symbol are the same. And they represent something that's pretty heavy, pretty potent, pretty powerful on the astral planes. And the lower planes, because of the weight of the badge, stuff like that. So to me, is a pretty clear symbol that, hey, go ahead, start using that symbol as a badge, just to attract the members of my own soul group. So that's what I'm doing on my new videos. I'm starting to put the oak symbol out there so that people can recognize it on a subconscious level, on a soul level, if it's appropriate for them. And on the other hand, I'm putting it out there to say that, hey, this is a legit order. It's a soul group, it's teachings that belong, that I've hopefully transmit, that I'm able to share, and that it's almost like the time, it was not the right time before. Even if I wanted to move forward with it, wouldn't go. Now's the time to move forward with the oak material, to push it a little bit, to be a little more serious about it, to attract the proper members of my soul group. And in the meditation, in my daily meditations, one of the most important things that I'm doing is channeling energy to the circle. In those meditations, I'm in a circle with other people and we are sharing energy, and I'm trying to channel that energy and empower that energy, empower that circle, the order. And it exists on the etheric plane. It might not exist on the physical plane at this moment, but it will. It will. So that's basically I have to share about how these videos that I'm coming out with, you're going to be seeing this sign, this logo, and that is also, it's represented that badge that I was given in the astral a little before, right around before the summer solstice, and which showed up in my dreams again last night. So it's kind of an exciting time. I'm just saying, hey, this is powerful. This is an ancient order, an ancient symbol, just like the symbol of the Galactic Federation, which had some kind of a triangle and it had some detail or a figure inside of that triangle. This is ancient and past lives. In past lives, I've been involved in this same group, the same soul group. And I believe that it is the soul group that operates on the etheric plane. And that's what I teach. That's what I am offering, is how to develop and grow on the etheric plane, which is the energy of this new age for the next 2,000 years. And that, as far as I'm concerned, oak represents a mystery school. I'm not going to say the, because people can do it that one. I'm going to say a. It represents a mystery school, a valid mystery school of the root chakra energies. Not of the heart energies, not of the crown chakra energies, of the root chakra energies. And it is a mystery school for Tantra and for warriors. I guess that's all that I have to say about that. So what I'm going to add to that is all the projects that I do, whether it's the stories that I translate and that are available on my webpage, bandlebooks.com, where people can get that material, those materials, or whether they decide to be supportive of my efforts and go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/anarchistbanjo. I am currently on the third lesson, if you will, the third lesson of the Tantra and Etheric Warrior training course, which offers only for members, only for my Patreons that pay at least $5 a month in support. They are given a lecture on certain, so this is going to be the third lecture, and then 2 meditations that go with it on a weekly basis. And this is the third lesson, the third set of meditations that I'm putting out. And this one that's out this week is about the third eye, opening, not the third eye, it's the throat chakra, opening the throat chakra and clearing energy channels. But it's only available for supporting members. And that I encourage people, if they feel drawn to that, to what I'm sharing, that is a place where you can go. Thank you for your time.